What's going on, guys? It is DigiWatch TCG coming to you with a little bit of news about X Record BT-9 that we're going to be getting in just about a month. Before we get into it, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts below and what you'd like to see next. So the first thing I want to talk about is about the X Record itself, some stuff we learned about this, about what we're going to be getting in the actual set as box toppers and additional packs, which I think is really cool, and I'm really excited for it because it introduces some really cool cards. We have a little bit of news about the X Record pre-release, and I always like to cap these types of videos with a little bit of information about the sealed format rules when we do play sealed with pre-release cards. So starting off here, so they've officially announced that the ninth booster set is around X, themed about X antibody, is going to be coming in. We get it July 29th, which means that pre-release, I believe, is about a week ahead of time. So it's going to be about July 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, which was right about the time we got for our BT-8 stuff. One thing I want to mention is because it's on the Digimon card game website, it gives me a little bit more confidence that it's not going to be delayed. Of course, delays can still happen, but the fact that they already put it out at July 29th means that they have at least anticipation that it's going to reach shelves in the US by the 29th. And of course, keep in mind, like I said before, there could be delays, but let's hope there's not. All the information is on the screen over here if you want to stop the video and take a look here, but it's common, uncommon, rares, just gives you like the breakdown of each. Then we get the box toppers, which is really cool. So this is going to be one of each in each box that you get. Now, they are alternate arts of the actual Digi eggs from the set, and each one kind of have a similar effect except for one, which I'll talk about in a quick second. But basically, each one gets an additional 1,000 DP added to their whatever as inherited, with the exception of the Tokomon X antibody, which I think is when a card is added to your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1,000 DP. Everything else here, like if you have an Insectoid in its traits, it gets 1,000. If you have Agumon Greymon, it's 1,000. If a card is added to your hand by an effect, get 1,000. Blocker, if this card has blocker for it gets 1,000 additional DP, which is actually really good for blockers. This might actually see a little bit more play. And then Pagumon is when attacking, trash card from your hand, get 1,000 DP. So that's really cool. As you can see, the artworks here are really great. I love it when they do this with the Digi eggs, and I actually can't wait to get a playset of the Koromon. I really do want to try to get the Koromon there. It's really cool. Now, going a little further down, we have a really cool announcement. So this is what we're going to be getting is the box promotion pack update, which is going to come with 2 cards per pack, and it's going to be one of these 6 cards here. Now, I don't know if I have the ability. I don't think there's on here now. I can't really scroll in, but I do know that they're probably going to be up somewhere, I'm sure, online if you can find them. But these are the 6 cards that we get in here. Now, this is, in a sense, very similar to the promo packs we used to get from like BT-1, and I don't even know, they may be considered holographic as well. I'm not 100% certain, but these are cards that you definitely want to play. Sagittarius mode, Metal Greymon. I believe these both have a similar effect of like if you have a Garurumon in its traits, and this would be destroyed, you can like take 2 cards with the same level from underneath the stack and then trash them so that you can avoid destruction. I think that's the same for both Altarius mode and Sagittarius mode, which is really cool. And then you have the reduced Digivolution. I can't say what they are exactly, but you have the ability to reduce the Digivolution if you're Digivolving onto Were Garurumon or Metal Greymon. Boutmon over here, I think it says when this Digimon will Digivolve into a card with something in its traits, you can trash up to 3 cards from the top of your security stack. For each security cards trashed by this effect, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So I don't know what the card is. I think it's Shaman. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's a Shaman underneath it. But basically, you can Digivolve on top of it, and it reduces the cost for each one you have underneath it. So these are, by the way, new cards. These are not cards we're going to be getting in BT-9. So that's a kind of a cool thing. We got Wizardmon here for the purple, saying when this card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory. And then it has an inherited. I can't read that. I'm sorry. Akuolon. I can't even say that. And then we have Deltamon, which is really good. I know that this card is played in Blackrock Greymon, Gaiusmon decks, which is really powerful, and I actually cannot wait to actually try this out. So this is the card I'm going to be after, this and Sagittarius Smoke, because those are the decks I'm going to be pretty much making. But this is really exciting. I actually cannot wait to get this. I was actually trying to figure out how Deltamon, because I was seeing deck lists in the OCG, and I was like, oh, well, I need the Deltamon, but apparently I don't know where to get it. Like, where do you get this? So this is the only way you can kind of get these cards. So that's something to keep in mind. You may want to consider picking up a few boxes if that's the case, and hopefully you get the card you need, or very least you can trade people for the cards you want, so you can get your play sets of what you're going to get. So that is really cool for the information we get from BT-9. Going into our cards here, I kind of spoiled it for you already a little bit, but this is the pre-release tournament pack, the pre-release tournament information that we're going to be getting. So like I said, it comes about a week to 2 weeks before the actual release of the product, and I'm not going to go over everything because I've gone over everything before, but basically this is information from the store, whether they're going to run a tournament or if they're going to give the pre-release packs and participation stuff out based on other criteria. Sometimes they do a purchase incentive, something like this, where players who purchase one booster box during the pre-release period will receive 1 additional pre-release pack. A lot of that. It's so basically you're really in a good hands to pick up this box. Hopefully there's enough for all players, but picking up a box on pre-release weekend will get you not only the cards that are inside as well as the packs and stuff, but you're also going to get pre-release packs as well. So usually getting them in the first couple of weeks is a very good idea. Now, participation packs mean you're going to get a card for just entering, and we get an alternate art of a card already. This is from EX1. This is the Leomon from EX1, that at the end of battle, if it's hidden security and you have 3 or fewer security cards, you recover 1. So it is a cool art. I don't know if this is from a scene from the actual anime. I always like to consider, like, where is this from? And I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know if they ever actually faced each other in battle like this, unless it's maybe from the new, the new one, or if it was in Try Somewhere. So that's something to keep in mind. We have the participation pack. So you get 2 pre-released stamped cards. Usually they're foil cards that are uncommon or rare cards. I will say that most people want the uncommon card because the uncommon is normally a non-foil card in the set, and getting a foil card that's really good or played a lot is one of those cards like you may want to consider picking up. Then we get to our winners pack. Now this is kind of the same thing that they had with Agumon in the last pre-release, that if you win the pre-release tournament, or however they decide to split it up at the locals, usually you get 1 of these cards. Since I'm going to be playing the Gabumon deck, I definitely want to try to win one of these, at least 1 copy, and that is going to be what I look for. But I really do like the fact that they do Gabumon. I wonder what they will do for the next set for BT-10. But this is really exciting just to get the Gabumon version of Agumon. I still have mine actually completely sealed. Speaking of sealed, let's go into some rules and stuff we should know for sealed format. Now, again, if you have never been to a pre-release, this is for you. And if you've watched so far and you already know pre-release rules, you can definitely, just finish up the video. But I'm just going to go briefly over a few of the rules here. So first off, with sealed play, this does something very different from normal types of tournaments, in that you can digivolve Digimon without worrying about the color. So if you have, for example, a yellow baby or rookie, you can digivolve into your champion level Digimon that is red or blue, as long as it doesn't restrict you by saying in the card text something about the color. So if it said something like this can only digivolve on yellow Digimon, then you would only be able to digivolve on yellow Digimon. So that is the big thing about sealed play. That's like the most important thing, I guess you can say. But keep in mind that level still matters. So you can't just go into your level 6. You have to go into the next level up just as normal, as well as anything else like a cost. Like if you had to discard a card to digivolve, you still have to do that. Now, when you enter in, you get 6 packs. You get to keep those packs. You make a 40 card deck and a 0 to 5 card Digi Egg. There are no banned or restricted cards, so let's say they were to say in this upcoming set that Alphamon was banned. It wouldn't matter for a pre-release, you could still play. There's also no limit to the amount of cards you could play, so if you pull a rookie, let's say you pulled, I don't know, a Doromon or something, and you wanted to play 6-7 copies of Doromon and that you pulled, absolutely, you can play as many as you want. It's Swiss format, meaning it's best out of 3, and if you won your first match and someone else won theirs, most likely you two will be playing in the next round. Sideboards mean that every card that you do is not in your 40 card deck, but you did pull. So anything that basically you're not using can be transitioned in as your sideboard. What I personally do, and I would suggest people do, is when you are if you still have some time left when you're making your deck during the pre-release, look through the cards you're not using and just put them into a little bit of matchup types if you know what types of decks your opponents are going to be playing, or some boss monsters that they'll be playing. Usually I base it on options and boss monsters and stuff. Deck construction order, I kind of went over that. That's everything here I just went to. You get to keep your cards. Color requirement I already discussed. 2 big rules I'll mention at the bottom here, which is relatively new that they've added in, is that first off, if there's a special requirement, actually this is important. So before I get into this, if you are playing an option card, so say you're playing a card that is a purple option card, you have to still meet that requirement of the color that is different from Digivolving. You need to have a Digimon, Digi-Egg, Tamer, or like an option that stays on field. Like a memory boost or something like that meets the color requirement of the card you're going to be playing. Otherwise, you cannot play that card. Now, what I was saying before about this was with Digivolving into cards like Agumon to Agumon Bond of Bravery, or the has the ability of saying you can digivolve, ignore its level, you can digivolve Agumon into this Digimon. But let's say you had, since they're both red, just as the example they're giving here, they're both red, but let's say you had an Agumon, you can digivolve Agumon that was maybe a yellow Agumon or a black Agumon into your red Agumon Bond of Bravery in your hand for the Digivolution cost, ignoring the level. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing they kind of mentioned here is DNA Digivolutions. I think there's only one card in BT-9 that does this, but this is important to know anyway. But you basically, with DNA Digivolving in a pre-release, ignore the color completely. So if you have like a card that's a dual color Digivolution of, let's say, blue and green, like Pyodramon, you would just digivolve to like a purple and a black. It wouldn't matter. You put them in any order and put them on top of each other and be able to digivolve into Pyodramon without worrying about anything else. One small thing I will mention about DNA, just in general, if you were normally playing with the colors, just something to keep in mind, you usually put Pyodramon has blue on the left and green on the right. So that means that when you digivolve, the blue card that you're using as the blue requirement is going to be the topmost card, and then the green card that you're using for the green card on the right is going to be on the bottom. Just something to keep in mind. That is usually how DNA Digivolutions work. It matches from left to right, equating to top to bottom on your stack. The last thing they talk about here is if you have Digi-Eggs, in sealed format during the breeding phase, players don't choose between hatching a new Digi-Egg or moving a level 3 or higher Digimon from their breeding area to their battle area. Instead, players can place a level 3 Digimon from their hand to an empty space in their breeding area without digivolving into a level 2 Digimon card. So, for example, they give is that during the breeding phase, either player can place a level 3 Agumon from their hand, um, in their breeding area without digivolving into Koromon. There's no need to digivolve onto a hatched level 2 digi egg in their breeding area. This only applies for sealed game formats. So what this is kind of saying is that, let's say there was that unlucky player that only pulled 2 eggs during the entire opening, and they only have 2 to play. What they can then do is, if they were to run out of eggs, they could just place their 3 in their breeding area, and then digivolve on top of it, some whatever they need to do, or just leave it there. And then in the next turn, they can promote it into their battle area if they were going to choose to do that. They do not need to go over a level 2. Of course, you do not get the draw from the level 2, because that is a Digimon mechanic of when you digivolve, you draw 1. But since you're not digivolving, you just play it out into your breeding area. So that is that. But with that said, what do you think about the BT-9 information that was released? Are you excited? I am actually really excited for the promotion pack. I was not going to buy that many boxes of this set. It is a really good set, but I was going to just pick up a few. With that said, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts below on what you'd like to see next. Thank you, and have a great day.